What's going on, guys? Let's talk about the greatest black quarterback ever to do it, Warren Moon. Let's get into it.
A lot has been said about me as being the first African American quarterback into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's a subject that I'm very uncomfortable about sometimes, only because I've always wanted to be judged as just a quarterback.
Say if your name, my name is Keith. I do Black Quarterback Series, and today we're finishing a series that I started last summer. The top 10 greatest black quarterbacks to ever do it. I'm gonna leave up in the top a link to the other 9 entries as well. I'm gonna leave it at the end, and I'm gonna leave a link in the description for it as well. And so let's get into it, man. So when I did this last summer, and if I can find, I'll cut a piece of it out. One of my last things I told you guys who I was going to do, who I was going to cover, who was going to be the greatest, and I said Patrick Mahomes can never eclipse this man, even if he won 4 or 5 more Super Bowls. And since then, Pat has won a Super Bowl and another Super Bowl MVP. Pat will, in this list, Pat will forever be stamped as number 2 unless Lamar Jackson wins a few Super Bowls. So, number 1 is Warren Moon. And so Warren Moon, the first ever black quarterback to be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. First player ever to be inducted into both Hall of Fames, the Canadian Hall of Fame and the NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame. The guy was amazing. Had to go, and this is just a snapshot. We're going to get into the numbers and everything, but a snap, not a snap. The guy was excellent. Now, when I tell you guys these numbers, you got to remember that he played in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, in the early 2000s, where passing wasn't what it is now. Mahomes has better numbers, and Mahomes is going to have a better career. But Mahomes doesn't have his career unless Warren Moon lays the foundation for what Pat and Cam and CJ and even to a much lesser extent Kyler and even Dante Culpepper to an extent. None of these guys get a chance unless Warren Moon does what he do. So his college numbers. Now, granted, I found it was very fuzzy to find college numbers for him for whatever reason, and so his college numbers is followed: 3,277 yards passing, 19 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. Now, that's what one of the links. I'm going to post all the links I got most of this information from. I'm going to post the links down in the description. And so, but Wikipedia says he passed for 3,465 yards, 20 touchdowns, 19 interceptions. And so I wanted to also with a passer rating of 110.1. This is in college. And so, and just from some of the videos and the studying I've done about it, that first year in college, he had to go JUCO because, back in the 70s and 80s, if you were a great quarterback, a great black quarterback that looked like us, they made you change your position. It's so many great quarterbacks that probably would have been great quarterbacks if they didn't have to change their position because these executives and everybody thought we wasn't smart enough to play the position. They didn't think we had the mental capacity to play the position. So, and then 30, 40 years later, we're the best guy in the league. The best guys in the league are black quarterbacks. And so, yeah, so that's just a little, as I fix the camera, that's just a little bit of backstory and everything. So his college numbers are very, very, I'm not going to say not known, but his college numbers to me, I had a hard time finding them. So if anybody has a reliable website that can link down and below, help the community out to make sure that my numbers are vetted, I greatly appreciate it. So, like I said, he had to go to JUCO because of racial biases and all that stuff like that. And so he played decent. It's not, but it's in the 70s. They didn't throw the ball much. This is a running back, fullback, swing, Nebraska type offense in the 70s. So his numbers are not going to look good as if he would have played in 2010 or hell, even 2007 with Vince Young. Um, so so yeah, that's those are his college numbers. And let's get into the most important time when he put himself on the map, his senior season, because when he did eventually play, he was spectacular. And so then he in his senior season, he ended up winning Pac-8 championships, the Pac-8. Pac-8 championship, player of the year, MVP of the Rose Bowl. He was spectacular in the Rose Bowl. 12 for 23, 188 yards, a touchdown, two rushing touchdowns. Um, and was just all great. Warren Moon was great from the time he stepped on the football field to the time he hung it up. I think in '01. From the time he was great. He kind of kins me to LeBron, where if it wasn't for injuries, his numbers would be better. Just think about if LeBron didn't miss a lot of time in LA because of the foot and I think the ankle and the back. If he didn't miss that much time, LeBron would have blown past the all-time leading scorers list much, much faster. But it took him time because he was hurt. He played 23 seasons. 6 of them were up north, our northern friends in Canada, where he played for the Edmonton Eskimos from 1978 to 1984. His numbers as follow: 21,228 yards, 144 touchdowns, 77 interceptions, 16 rushing touchdowns with a 57.4 completion percentage. And so you'd be like, Keith, those numbers are like, okay, how would he do today? I think if Warren Moon played today, where he had the better coaches and they were able to utilize his running ability more than they did at that time, his numbers will look better, and I think he would probably pass in the 65, 67% range. I think he would be more or less that type of guy. Probably Cam Newton, but a better passer is what I'm getting from all the study and stuff I've done. But you guys let me know. I know I got some old heads. My demographic leans a little older, so let me know if some guys, if y'all are old enough, because I was born in '94, so I didn't get a chance to watch Warren Moon like that. So if any of you guys were in high school, college, let me know what it was like watching Warren Moon play and watching this happen. I think I asked that in one of the other ones when I was talking about Doug Williams. And I was like, let me know what it was like at the time. Because I'm just looking from numbers and videos and pieces of paper. I don't get what it's like to know what it was like seeing this in real time. I've been blessed enough to have been in a world where black quarterbacks have just been the thing, you know? So just let me know. Let me know. So he went to the Edmonton Eskimos and utterly dominated. He ended up, spoiler alert, he ended up being undrafted, but he picked the Edmonton Eskimos because he knew that if he got drafted, they were going to force him to change positions, which is crazy. Guy is showing absolute flashes, and y'all forcing him to change positions because of racial biases and all that crazy stuff. We're still dealing with that today, but they do a better job of hiding it in the NFL now. But so he ended up winning 5 Grey Cups, which is the equivalent of the Super Bowl. Essentially what Brady did, but in a much shorter time. 5 straight Grey Cups. That's crazy. And so after the '84 season and they lose in the playoffs, they don't win another Grey Cup. Him and his coach end up going to Houston. Not Houston Oilers at the time. The Texans weren't around yet. He ends up going to the Oilers. Has a great NFL career, but ended up being 3-7 in the playoffs. Now I looked at StatMuse because obviously I don't know if I can sit back and watch all these games. If y'all want that video, or I'll go back and watch all of his games and give you a fresh lens of what I saw. I'll try to find all the footage I can. But just looking at StatMuse and some of the numbers and, other than the Vikings year, he, from the passer rating to the numbers, it didn't look like he played very well in the playoffs for whatever reason. And you would think this is a big time guy. You would think he'd play well in the playoffs. So, 3-7 record in the playoffs, but that doesn't take away from what he actually did. And so, guy had 4K passing seasons in the 80s and 90s. Like, I don't think that's like so unprecedented. They were not passing the ball like that, and for him to have 4K passing seasons in a league that was a running base offense at the time is ultimately amazing. So he ended his NFL career 49,325 yards, 291 touchdowns, 233 interceptions, 9 Pro Bowls, 23 pro seasons. And like he has so many numbers, or he has so many, what would I call it, accomplishments, that I'm not even going to try to like articulate all the accomplishments. I'm just going to put them on the screen as I'm talking. So at the end of all these videos, I do a what does this guy mean to me, right? And so with Cam and Russ and Lamar and who else is on the list that I saw play? Um, Michael Vick towards the end we played for the Eagles. I saw these guys play. And I had a good outlook of who they was. But with the older guys, Doug, Marlon Briscoe, Warren Moon, I didn't watch these guys play. And I wish I would have had a chance to ask my grandfather. He's still alive, but I didn't have a chance to ask him before I made this video what Warren Moon meant to him. Because I can only imagine seeing Warren Moon for the first time was just spectacular. Great football. You got to be a great mind in order to play 23 years in any profession. So for me, researching this and knowing what I already knew about Warren Moon, to me, it just seems like it was the guy that came too early. It's the guy that came too early, and injuries really took out the last 5 years of his career. Should have ended his career in Houston. Ended up ended in his hometown of Seattle. But Warren Moon set the precedent for everything we're seeing now. He passed the baton to other great guys who also passed the baton to other great guys. And I'm just happy that he paved the way for us so I can even make this video about these guys. Because if Warren Moon would have just got drafted and changed positions, who knows who would have did it. Somebody else would have did it. But Warren Moon was such a spectacular talent that I kind of wish he'd have played. I wish he was in this draft. So, hey, we might be looking at another Warren Moon and Caleb Williams. Who knows? With the way he is and the way in his own little ways, right? So, I enjoyed the series. I definitely enjoyed this series. And I'm finally getting to finish it. So, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if y'all want me to talk more in depth about some of the other ones, about some of the other guys. And I got some other series cooking that is going to help us get through this downtime of the NFL season, or any downtime of the football season, because the UFL is about to have their championship. I'm not gonna watch it because my Battlehawks got kicked out. My Battlehawks got kicked out because of poor offense, and AJ McCarron just was not himself. So let me know if y'all want to talk about that. We can definitely talk about what I think about the UFL and all that. So enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment, like, and sub, all that great stuff. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.